Hi, it's Miss Chambers, and this is a video to show you how to plot points on a graph. So here we have some information that was recorded from an experiment. It's about bats, like the flying bats, bats in the summer, and there are 5 years, and then some data on big brown bats and little brown bats for those 5 different years. So a graph has already been set up, the axes are set up, and you can see that the scale here looks like they went up by about 300 on each line. And so this is going to be a good representation for this data. They're going to use red color for big brown bats and green color for little brown bats. So I'm going to start with the big brown bats. This is the first one over here. So I'm going to change my color to red. And what you want to do is just start at the first number, make sure you're aware of your axes, and just follow up the 2 lines where those 2 numbers intersect. So in 2009, there was 900 big brown bats. So you will go down to 2009 and then go right up to 900 and make a point right there on 900. Okay, so you can see what I did there. And then I like to cross it off when I'm done so that I'm aware I already did that one. In 2010, there was 1,000 big brown bats. So right here, I'll just go up to about 1,000, which is just going to be slightly over 900. So in 2010, I'll just kind of go right about there at 1,000. In 2011, I'll cross that one off because I just did it. In 2011, it was also 1,000. So back to the graph, 2011, again, 1,000. In 2012, it was 1,000 again. So in 2012, I will go to 1,000. And then in 2013, it went all the way up to 1,300. So I'll find 2013, and I'm just going to go slightly above 1,200, right about there, so that I'm a little bit above 1,200, probably right about where 1,300 is. And then what you want to do is take that same color and just connect the dots with as smooth of a line as possible. So you can see that this is basically a straight line with a little bit of an increase at the very end. So I'm done with all the big brown bat data. So now I'm going to switch to my green color because the little brown bats are going to be in green. Now the first part of the data for little brown bats in 2009 goes all the way up to 6,100. And if you notice right here, the graph on the y-axis only goes to 6,000. So 6,100 is going to be a little bit higher than that. And that's okay, as long as, if you run out of lines, as long as it's just a little bit above, you can actually go above the graph. So what I would do for 2009 and 6,100 is I would follow this line in 2009 all the way up and just make the point slightly above 6,000. So my point is going to look something like that, because the rest of the data, it's all going to fall within the lines of the graph. The next one is 2010 and 1,700, so a sharp decrease. So 2010 and 1,700, I'm going to make the point right here, right under the 1,800, right about there, like that. The next one is 2011 and 500. So 2011 and 500 is going to be just under the 600, right about there. So 2011 and 500, right about there. And then 2012 and 400, just slightly under where we went, but at the 2012 mark, actually slightly above the 300 mark. So right about there. Oops. Right about there. And then the last one is 2013 and 300. So 2013, I'm going to go right up and put it right at 300. So now again, I'm going to connect those points with as smooth of a line as possible with that same green color. And you can see, looking at this, that the little brown bats sharply declined, whereas the big brown bats stayed about the same and actually had a slight increase at the very end. So that's how you would plot these points, especially when you have 2 groups of data like this. I hope this helps. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask your teacher and we'll be glad to help you. Thanks.